Hello, neighbors. How are you today? You're watching Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV, and we do something on this show that not many other shows, if any, do. We mix it up. We bring on a Democrat and a Republican, totally different points of view. I throw out the topics. They mix it up. The one rule is this. We have thoughtful conversation. At the end, we shake hands and we part friends. Today, demonstrating our purpleness, we have two of the best. David Eisenbach is here, and he's a little out of his off his game today because he usually mixes it up with Johnny Burnett. So now we pit you against Jen Kearns. She's a former speechwriter for Fox News. She was also the spokesperson for the California Republican Party. Great friend and mentor of mine, and thank you both for being here. David is a professor at Columbia University. He was also a candidate for New York City Public Advocate. So these are some political heavyweights right here. So Jen, I want to ask you first. We've been talking about, you know, the Democratic side, Bernie, Biden, and all this stuff. What does all of this mean for Donald Trump?
Well, look, I think Donald Trump, the position he stands in right now is that he is very unbeatable. You look at minus the coronavirus affecting Wall Street, I think that's going to bounce back. All sectors of the economy seem to be doing great. And I think regardless of who the candidate is, I think President Trump will do just fine. Everybody in the Biden camp today is talking about, oh, how Biden could beat Trump. I don't think that's actually true. I think the passion that's on the Bernie side would certainly give Trump supporters a run for their money. When you have passion versus passion, it always increases turnout on both sides. And look, what the Democratic Party did in effect here was they jumped on the grenade and they all lined up behind Joe Biden. And there's one reason for that. The Democratic Party understands what it means to have unity, and they had to basically put the tourniquet on the Bernie Sanders situation to save the rest of the body, which is the Democratic Party in this case. I believe that the Democrats know, and when I say the Democrats, it's the machine of Hillary Clinton, Terry McAuliffe, and Barack Obama. By the way, I am told, this is exclusive, first time I've said this on air, ring the bell, that
breaking news. We have the breaking news banner out there.
That the person who made the phone call to Pete Buttigieg to ask him to drop out, that started this whole 72-hour contagion, was none other than Barack Obama himself.
So
and that
Barack
has not
was
been
out
reported
there
yet.
doing all this work.
Correct. And he's been wanting to sort of stay hands off because he feels he might be needed to settle a contested convention. But behind the scenes, he's been working on it.
You don't want Bernie, is what you're saying.
He does not want Bernie, and neither does the party. And I believe that the entire establishment knows that Joe Biden is a very weak candidate. He's very gaffe prone. And they also know he very well might not win against Trump, but they're doing it because they don't want Bernie Sanders to take over the party, because we know this: when you're president and you take over the party, you get access to the fundraising apparatus, you get access to the email list at the DNC. Then you own the party for the next 30 years. They would rather take a 4-year hit, have Donald Trump for 4 more years, instead of having Bernie Sanders for the next 20.
I completely agree. The corrupt
when
Democratic National Convention
That's why I ring the bell.
and the Democratic elite would rather lose to Donald Trump than win with Bernie. Because if Bernie wins, their whole game of pretending like they're progressive and liberal while selling out to the bankers and the healthcare industry is over. Bernie is the corrective to the corruption of the Democratic Party, and they don't want any part of it.
Now, let me just show you this, because David, you're always fair. I got to give you that. But here's the guy they're putting all the chips on. They're going all in, the whole establishment on Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? The establishment is in. This is their guy, okay? Take a look at this. Look how great he is, this fact.
They don't call Super Tuesday for nothing. By the way, this is my little sister, Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh, no, this is Val, you switched on me. This is my wife. This is my sister. They switched on me.
Yeah. That's Joe being Joe.
Hey, look.
No. I'm saying, he doesn't even know who his wife is anymore.
Well, hey, at least he explained this gaffe. He caught himself. You can see he's evolving as a candidate, but it looks bad. I can make a joke about this because my parents are from West Virginia and I'm from Oklahoma, so our family trees look a little weird.
It might be. His wife and his sister could be the same thing.
There are certain people in politics that are Teflon. Joe Biden is one of them. He can do any gaffe and it doesn't stick. People love Joe. And that's why he's still in the race, despite what all the talking heads were saying when they would jump on every single gaffe. The fact is, your average voter doesn't care.
Yeah,
they don't care that he seemed disoriented during the debates. They weren't even watching the debates.
Yeah,
they
I
know
do
Joe,
agree
they
with
trust
this.
Joe, and that's why he's been able to keep his place in
I
this
do
race.
agree with this, and I've been cautioning my Republican colleagues, especially in the Trump campaign, don't keep running these gaffe reels of him. They don't matter to regular people who
care.
are out there working 9 to 5 or 9 to midnight, whatever. Here's the thing. You have to start tying Joe Biden to Barack Obama's failed agenda, failed economy, failed foreign policy that led to the Arab Spring, leading from behind. All of those things actually do matter to the American people. If you start to make him Uncle Joe and he's funny and it's a Saturday Night Live skit, he could actually win. And that's the risk I think that Republicans have here. Now, my advice for Democrats, if I were a strategist this morning, waking up trying to retool the Biden campaign, I would turn him into a weekend at Bernie's candidate immediately. You have to separate two things. You have to have him on stage, on teleprompter, very strongly scripted. Then you also have to separate him from the media and also let him go out there and mingle among the people and let him be that affable Uncle Joe. That's the winning strategy. Anything short of that's not going to work. The two cannot commingle. He's going to be too gaffe prone in front of the
David,
media.
I know you are an esteemed professor at Columbia University. You and I have in the past tangled on some economic theory.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop a little street knowledge on everyone right now. There's a thing called a dead cat bounce in the market, which like when the market pops up, and it talks about how even if you throw a dead cat off a building, it will bounce.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it's alive.
That's right.
And I think
and the Fed cuts does a 50-point cut, and you're only getting this level of the bounce. This has got to be very scary.
Well, we're up 800 today. I meant Joe Biden might be in a dead cat.
No, I'm talking about the economy because at the end of the day, what's going to matter in the Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders fight against Donald Trump will be that stock market. And how many bullets do we have left in this gun?
We got to take a quick break right here. We got to end it. I'm sorry, Dave. We got to leave it there. We'll be right back right after this to wrap it up.